It's everybody's favorite everything, SJ Stevens. I first of all have to thank you guys so much for all the views. Like the views on everything just literally surpassed any expectation that I have. I mean, I got several 1,000 view shorts and like way more subscribers. TikTok went crazy, Instagram, the stories, the whole nine. So thank y'all so much for supporting me. This is literally my baby, y'all. Heathen to Holy is my baby. Um, Flip the Word is my baby boy. Like that's the special piece. But like this whole process just means so much to me, y'all. I have put this off for so long. And I just said this time, no matter what it looks like, I was gonna keep going. So I promise to get better. I promise to get better content and lighting and cameras and mics and all of that. But instead of always starting and stopping and waiting till it's perfect, I I just decided we just gonna go. You just gonna see the progress. You gonna see it go from me in my little sunroom to me in my studio. So y'all just buckle up. Heathen the Holy, SJ Stevens, primarily Flip the Word. Household names. Give me a minute. So y'all, today I want to talk about the power of softness. And the reason I want to talk about the power of softness is because I really realized that that has been the difference between me having the most amazing dating experiences to some of the horror stories that I've had. So when I did the dating experiment over the summer, which was 100 dates in 120 days, I practiced non-attached dating. So the purpose of me doing that was because I'm a lover girl. Like I'm a whole wife. And so everything in me wants to be in a relationship. So once you have a person that has that desire, then you throw in the emotional piece. You hugging, you kissing, you having sex, you spending the night, you on the phone for 7, 8 hours, you're gonna automatically connect with a person. And that connection does not mean that it's supposed to be. It means you have just grown accustomed to them. So I was very intentional to not fall into that trap. But another thing was I really wanted to kind of see like what I had been doing wrong and what I had been doing right. I studied me and y'all. Like the level of interviews and books and podcasts and just stories and conversation, like the level of things that I did, the amount of things rather I did to kind of understand men a little bit better. It's probably insanity, but it helped me so much. And what I realized about me was I was too hard to get a good man. I was too hard. Like in my mind though, it was strong, it was independent, it was you don't need no man because you got it. Yeah, no, that's not how that work. Like I was strong, like I'm sure most women, who unfortunately have that thing. I was strong because I didn't have a choice. I was strong because even though my kid's father, did whatever he did with his child, I was a single mother. I was strong because I'm divorced. I was strong because I'm in a city, in a state where I did not know a single soul. I don't have 2 a.m. people in Charlotte. I was strong because if I was not strong, who was going to do it? I work 2 and 3 jobs because I don't ever want to be in a space to not have. I do everything myself. I'm like hyper independent. Well, I was. Let me say that. Hyper independent. And then I had to think about it. If I'm all of these things and I'm doing all of these things, where exactly does a man even fit in at? Like, what about me would give a man an indication that I needed him or even really wanted him versus just something for me to be doing or to say I'm married to check off a box? What indication did I give a good man that he was needed and wanted and would be appreciated here? And when I thought about it, y'all, none. Not a single indication was given. And like I think about it because I had a conversation with an ex of mine. Somebody I dated for a significant amount of time, and they was like, "I'm not getting married. I don't believe in marriage. I'm good on marriage." And then you met somebody, and he married them in less than 6 months. And so I asked one day, like, just out of curiosity, why her and not me? And like, it's nothing disrespectful. We are like the best of friends, very much a mutual relationship. But I wanted to know. And because we are so close, he had no issue telling me. He said, Shay, you never needed me. You never needed me. You was always going to be good. She needed me. And I was like, what does that mean? Like, this lady, she's more financially stable than him. She got her own businesses. She got all of these things. Like, what do you mean she needs you? He said, because the people around her aren't necessarily, the best people. They take advantage of her. And I just wanted to protect her. I wanted to ensure she was safe. And like, yes, I love her, not that like that's the only primary focus, but like I fell in love with her because I wanted to protect her. I wanted to make sure she was okay. I wanted to be the first person she called because I know she didn't have that. And I was like, well, what about me? He was like, you never gave that. You never gave that. And I really, and I mean, I appreciate the conversation. I appreciate that I have men in my life that I can have those kind of conversations with, y'all. But it really made me realize that man was 100% correct. I have been previously so independent that like there literally was no room for a man. I never created a space for men to come in and ever do for me outside of like the financial piece of it, of course, but like to actually care for me and like nurture me and be more intentional with like my heart and my feelings. I never created that space because I was too busy being hard, because I never wanted anybody to view me as weak. I didn't want men to think that they can run over me, because if I just kind of go with the flow and be soft and gentle, then y'all gonna run amok. And so everything about me was strict. Everything about me was A, B, C. There was no gray area. There was no softness. There was no nothing. And that's what I got, a whole bunch of nothing. And now that's not to say, again, I dated amazing men. Previously, of course, nothing worked because here I am still single. But like in this dating experiment, I was so intentional to show a softer side of me, to tap into the softer side of me. So I had been practicing the softness in my regular life. But when it came to dating, I wasn't quite sure how that would go. But I'm like, you know what? You got to try it. You got to see. Like, you got to at least see. Yeah, the best thing I could have ever done. The best thing I could have ever done. Because what I realized was that the type of man that I will marry is going to be a provider. And yes, that does include financially, but it's so much more. It includes the spiritual aspect of it. It includes the nurturing aspect of it. He's going to provide me with stability, safety, security. Like, he's going to do all of these things, but I have to give him the space to do them. Like, I can't say I want you to provide for me, but I'm running around talking about, oh, I got 2 masters and I got this and I make 6 figures and I don't need no nigga for no big. What was he gonna do? If I'm bragging on how much I got, then what space does that leave for a man? Or if I'm leading because some kind of way conversations about my past relationships or our past relationships always come up, and like my story is the same. My exes did certain things for me, and for a very long time I expected the men that I was dating to do those things. And I've had a man say, I can't compete with your past. I don't even know how. And it wasn't because he didn't have the money. It wasn't because he didn't have the desire. It was because I made it so adamantly clear that if you don't do it, my ex-husband will do it. If you don't do it, I can call my kids dad. If you don't do it, my son, gainfully employed, my son will do it. And so it made these men feel like, well, what you need me for? What do you need me for? And y'all, once I realized that, like, when I say game changer, when I say nothing has been the same since, like, I had a situation when I was, in the dating experiment where I went out with this guy. And when I say this guy, y'all, he just really got to know me just in a totally different way. We would go out to eat and he would order my food. Not like in a controlling way, but he knew what I wanted because those are the kind of conversations that we had. That is the dialogue that we had. That is the bond that we had. That is the level of softness that I allowed myself to have with him. We went out one time and I had to order my own food. When I say I pouted, y'all, I was like, why would you make me talk to these people? I don't want to talk. And he was like, sometimes you got to use your words. but like otherwise I got you. And it was because we were at a place that he didn't know what I wanted. Like it was a whole different scenario. But like that's the level of softness that I aspire to be. I don't want to feel like I gotta be the first to speak up. I gotta be the loud one. I order for me and him because he wants this and he. I don't do none of that no more, y'all. I don't do none of that no more. When a man asks me, "Do you need something?" Yes. What do you need, Shamara? Even if it's just gas in my car, even if it's just talk to me till I get home, I am so intentional about creating a safe, like, space for the men in my life. Like, I want you to know I will hold us down if we need to be held down. Like, I am your plan B. I am our plan B. But as my man, you are the plan A. And I'm going to absolutely go with the flow. I'm going to absolutely trust you to lead us. And I think that that's also part of why I was like that in the past. I didn't trust these men. I ain't really, like, I know what I know, and I don't know what you know exactly. So I don't want you to lead me nowhere I don't want to go. Versus, let me just pick a better quality of man. Let me pick a man who leads a life that I can see myself being in. Then I have no problem following you because you've done really well with yourself. So why would I anticipate that me being in your life wouldn't enhance that? Why would I anticipate me being in your life and now you finna go rogue and we both finna be messed up? No. Pick better. And then I trust you to lead me because I've watched you do it for yourself. Like, y'all, being soft is literally the cheat code to life. It is the cheat code to, for one, not being stressed out, because do you know how exhausting it is to be on all the time? To never feel like you can just take a break or just say, no, I don't have it, I can't. To cry, to just be vulnerable. Do you know how hard that is to only cry when your door closed and you home by yourself? When I say, I had a gentleman say to me, I want to take care of you. Not because you're not capable of doing it on your own, but because you should be tired of doing it on your own. And I just don't want you to no more. That is what I'm talking about. But again, had I not created a space for him to feel like that, that man would have never said that to me. That man would have never said that to me, because why would he? Because again, I've always postured myself as little Miss Know and Do, and I got it, and all of this stuff. So I am the reason. So today's takeaway, because I don't want to ramble for too long, but today's takeaway, y'all, is I am single not because the dating pool got pee in it, because again, mine's never had pee in it. Let's be clear. I'm single because I was not making space to be anything other than single. I wasn't making men feel appreciated. I wasn't making them feel wanted. I wasn't making them feel loved. I wasn't even making them feel like there was room for them to do anything, because I do everything. And again, what I can't do, I got 3 backup plans. And I had no problem throwing that in people's face. Very sucky, very unfortunate, but also it's very much my reality. I can remember, and it's just the last little quick story. I can remember saying, I had an issue. I had an issue. My kid was gone. I had all of these things I needed to do, and I could not figure it out. And so I mentioned it to a gentleman, just literally in casual conversation. And before I could get to the end of the statement, that man said, this is what we gonna do. He laid out every single problem that I had presented with a solution. And he was like, just let me take care of you. I never thought to even ask that man for help, y'all. I never thought. I was just having a conversation about what I was trying to figure out on my own. But once I let go, that's the space that I opened up. Because I've told men before what my issues were. I've said, I got this problem, that problem. And they're like, oh man, you figure it out. You always figure it out. Because that was the old me. That was the hyper independent me. That was the grown man me. Versus this version of me now, even though I wasn't telling him to help me, it was the vulnerability. It was the me being able to say to somebody, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm trying to figure it out. I cannot figure it out. It made him want to help me. All you got to do is create the environment, and they will naturally do. If it's in him to do, he will naturally do it. And y'all, when I say it is the best place to be, it is the softest place to be, it is the safest place I have ever been. Once I let go, like relationships and dating, total game changer. I'm telling y'all. So that is all I have for today, y'all. Just the power of softness and how it literally can change your life. Thank you again for watching, for subscribing, the likes, the views, all the good stuff. Follow me on all social media, and I will be back Friday for my baby. Flip the word. Have an amazing rest of your evening.